Okay, so I was going to make this video, and then I slept on it, and I thought about it, and I realized this video has to get made. Yesterday, the Independent Supporters Council, otherwise known as the ISC, announced that the Supporter Shield, which is awarded to the team that finishes in first place in the MLS regular season, will not be awarded this year. Now, I remember when the season was first delayed and then the MLS's back tournament first started, people were saying, maybe the Supporter Shield shouldn't be awarded. But, MLS's back came and went, no one said anything. Then they announced the new format for the regular season, which was very unbalanced, but, still no one said anything. So we were like, oh, okay, I guess we're still going to do the Supporters Shield this year. This is great. And then we start getting excited for it. And the teams that were in the Supporters Shield race started playing for the Supporters Shield race. You have TSN putting up the Supporters Shield race at every game at halftime before the game saying, here's where it's going. You have people on Twitter going, here's the magic numbers to win the Supporters Shield. Here's how many points each team needs, how many points each team needs other teams to lose. People started getting hyped for it. And then yesterday, with most teams having 5 games left, and with 3 weeks remaining in the season, the ISC decided, we're not doing the Supporter Shield. And they announced it with this tweet, which says, after much consideration and discussion, the Supporter Shield Foundation has decided to forego awarding the Supporter Shield for the 2020 season. This is not an easy decision to make. With the inability for supporters to be in attendance and fill their stadiums with passion, however, we feel as though the current climate goes against the spirit of the Shield. The Supporters Shield Foundation stands with our players and our supporters in knowing that this year has been one of many challenges, and we commend and support the effort to making the best of the 2020 season as it has been. The rest basically says what they're going to do in 2021, basically to tour the Shield around if there's no Supporters Shield winner in 2020. No mention of the season being unbalanced, of the season being unfair. Basically, what it sounds like is they decided, oh, we can't go to games, so the games don't matter. That's what's coming off to me. Yes, fans not being at games takes something away from the games, but this season for players has been the hardest one they've ever been in. They've had to leave their families. They've had to play in this ultra weird, super cautious format where basically everything they do is put under a microscope now. Everything they do outside of the arena, they don't have free time to go out and do whatever the hell they want when they're not playing games. It's go home, sit at home, you go home, training ground, home, you don't do anything else because we can't risk you getting sick and getting everyone else in the league sick. And now you're having many cases of 2 games a week, so many midweek games, so many teams going 2 or 3 days between games, and that's it. Watch an MLS game right now. Those players are exhausted, and they're still giving it their all. They've never been this exhausted. I've never seen a season where MLS players are so visibly burnt out with still 3 weeks to go in the regular season. And now you're coming out and saying, but this doesn't deserve a trophy. Really? Now, of course, to make it seem like it wasn't all about them and being butthurt that they weren't allowed in stadiums, the ISC, 6 hours later, after a bunch of people were being mad, went and tweeted more stuff. Following up the previous announcement to clarify where it came from and how the decision was made. We understand there was going to be strong reactions from supporters over this decision, which is why we provided this information to ISC reps before going public. Yeah. Let's look at all these tweets here of ISC reps talking about how they were provided with information, how they were told about this, how they were even told that it was being considered before it came out. Yeah, that's like multiple supporters groups saying that they first heard about this when the ruling came out. The ISC didn't include anyone in this, and now they're saying they did to cover their ass. Yeah, right. Okay, good. Let's keep going. To further clarify the position of the Supporters Shield Foundation Board, it has become unclear whether every team will play the same number of games in the 2020 season or if the leagues will move to a points per game model for seeding. That is true, they might do that. However, there's still going to be a team that finishes first place. So, I mean, you've kind of made an award for the team that finishes first place in the regular season, and you're not going to hand out that award even though a team finishes first place in the regular season. Now, this next one's the best. Beyond that, the extremely unbalanced scheduling of the season, with some teams playing far fewer opposing teams than others, leaves too many questions regarding who the true winner will be. The true winner is whoever comes first place in the standings. And it's not like this season every MLS team is going to play every other MLS team anyways. The MLS season is MLS because it's never balanced. TFC plays Montreal 3 times every season and plays every Western Conference team once. And this year, it was pre-decided that teams weren't even going to play every other team in the other conference. So if making sure there was a balanced schedule was part of your agenda, you wouldn't have the Supporters' Shield at all because there's never a balanced schedule. To the fans of teams in the thick of the race, please understand that this decision was not made with regard to your place in the standings. We are excited with whoever wins it each season and have been working on a solution for months. Yeah, that one was just thrown in here because a bunch of TFC fans were butthurt. And okay, first off, I'm a TFC fan. Yes, TFC fans were by far the most angry. But we kind of have a reason to, because every other MLS team, with the exception of Montreal and Vancouver, who were both already out of the Supporters' Shield race at this time, if they come first place in the MLS regular season, they get a Champions League spot. They get home field advantage, especially this season. They get home field advantage for the entirety of the playoffs. For Toronto FC, because we're a Canadian team, we can't get into the Champions League for coming first place in MLS in the regular season. We don't get Champions League for winning Supporters' Shield. And also, we don't have home field advantage this year. We're playing in Hartford. We're basically playing neutral site games. For TFC, home field advantage doesn't exist this season. So the only reason why Toronto FC would want to come first place and be trying so hard to come first place in the MLS this season is to win the Supporters' Shield, is to have a physical thing, to have some sort of celebration of their success. And you're saying that they can't get that with 5 games left in our season. Now, I believe that if you're going to make a trophy for the team that comes first place in the regular season, if a regular season happens, you hand out that trophy. And more off, this whole "it's about the fans" thing, it's not celebrated properly with fans in the stadium. The Supporters' Shield, yes, is great for the fans, but the Supporters' Shield is because the MLS didn't have a trophy for regular season champions. So the fans took it upon themselves to create a trophy to give to the regular season champions. It's a trophy made by the fans so that the players can celebrate winning the regular season. And now you're saying that because we don't get to celebrate it, the players don't get to celebrate winning the hardest regular season ever. Anyways, the Supporters' Shield Foundation tweets keep going. Something about the reps of the ISC, just basically telling them to communicate with people about this. Again, calling on the reps of the ISC to help you when you obviously didn't tell them about this. Crappy move. Final piece, this decision was not made quickly or without consideration. At the end of the day, we are supporters like you. Our only concerns are the integrity, viability, and history of the Supporters' Shield. Break. See you in 2021. Okay, Supporters' Shield Foundation, see you in 2021. Don't watch the playoffs. All you 5 members on the ISC board basically have just said, this season does not matter, see you in 2021. Do not watch the playoffs. You have stated that this season isn't real. This season doesn't matter to you. So if you watch the playoffs, you're saying that this season is real. If you care about the playoffs, you're saying this season is real. If your teams make the playoffs, which I know a couple of them, their teams are going to make the playoffs. Timbers, New York Red Bulls, both probably going to make it. Montreal Impact might even too. And those 3 teams make up 3 of the 5 supporters on the ISC board. I don't remember the other 2. But you've said this season doesn't matter. So I don't want to see you watching the playoffs. I don't want to see you caring about the playoffs. I don't want to see you acknowledging that the playoffs even exist, because you said this season doesn't exist. This season doesn't matter. The history and integrity of the Supporters' Shield, the trophy given for the team with the most points in the MLS regular season, isn't going to be handed out this year because the MLS season doesn't matter this year. That's what you're saying. So if your teams are in the playoffs, don't watch it. Do not. It doesn't matter. You said so yourself. If your teams win MLS Cup, don't celebrate it. You didn't win MLS Cup. The season doesn't matter this year. There's no MLS Cup this year. That's what you're saying. So, have fun doing whatever the hell you're going to do this fall. Watch the NFL. You're not watching MLS. You said it doesn't matter. By the way, for everyone wondering what MLS says about this, Major League Soccer has been notified by the Independent Supporters Council of the decision not to award the Supporters' Shield this season. Everyone involved in MLS understands that the 2020 season, like every professional sports league, was unprecedented in our history. The club that finishes at the top of our regular season will have persevered through a highly challenging year. As in previous seasons, this team will be the top seed in the Audi MLS Cup playoffs, earn a berth in the Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League, and receive the bonus that goes to the club that finishes first overall in the regular season standings. Most of all, the millions of people who follow and support our league, teams, and players will always remember the club that finished as the 2020 MLS regular season leader. That sounds very much like the MLS is saying that in all but name, whoever finishes first place this season is going to be the Supporters Shield champions. They're still getting the financial bonus for coming in first place. But first place doesn't matter, according to the ISC. The people who have something financially at stake for not giving out a bonus for a team coming first place by saying, well, like, really, does a team come in first place? Is giving out the bonus for a team coming in first place. But the people that just need to go up and here's a trophy. Nah, that's too hard. They don't want to do that. They're just upset. Hey, ISC, who are supposed to represent supporters. As a supporter, I don't feel very represented. As someone who donates my time to make these videos about MLS, someone who obviously very much cares about MLS and who very much cares about soccer in North America and who really, really likes the idea of making the Supporters Shield mean more because it's given to the top regular season team, and most traditional soccer leagues don't have a regular season playoffs, they just have a season. So I like the idea of valuing the Supporters Shield because of that. And you're going out and saying, we don't get a Supporters Shield this year, even though we played 23 games, which is just 11 games less than is in a regular season. And it's not like we were going to play every other team anyways, and this season actually was harder than most seasons to win. So I feel, honestly, just incredibly upset by this. I don't even care if it was won by TFC or not. I just like consistency. I like having a trophy for the team that wins. I think winning the MLS regular season this year is probably going to be the hardest season ever to win the MLS regular season, and you don't get a trophy for that, which is incredibly disappointing and incredibly sad. And if I was a player on one of the top 5-6 teams right now that's in contention to win the Supporters Shield, I'd feel very much blindsided. Honestly, I just feel destroyed that the supporters who are supposed to be there for me and be there to support me, that's why they're called supporters, don't support what I've put in this season in the hardest season of my life. If I was a player, that's how I'd feel. And honestly, I bet you that a lot of players do feel very much betrayed right now. This is just a wrong decision on so many levels. It's honestly coming off like an ego trip by a couple of guys who are just upset that they can't go to games this season. And honestly, it's just very disappointing to wait this long, to wait until there's 3 weeks left in the season, to wait until there's 5 games left in the season. That's very amateurish. And then to respond to criticism with a, we told people we obviously didn't tell, see you in 2021, it's incredibly immature. So ISC, I don't respect you guys. You don't represent me. You don't represent any supporters in this league. So just stop. Give the Supporters Shield to the league and tell them to hand it out every year, because like at this point, that's probably better than what you guys got going on right now. So yeah, that's how I feel about what happened with the MLS Supporters Shield yesterday. Thank you for listening. Let me know what you guys think about the Supporters Shield controversy down below in the comments. And as always, if you like this video, hit like. If you want to see more of my stuff, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Link is down below in the description, and I will see you next time.